Hello, friends. It's Miss Jamie, and I'm so excited to be with you for another fairy tale today. Before we do the fairy tale, let's sing a song with our music teacher, Miss Nancy. This week we're singing Pat, Pat, Pat. Will you sing with me? Here she is.
Hello, Miss Jamie. Hello, virtual preschool friends. This week we are singing Pat, Pat, Pat from Wonderful You. Pat, 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 just like that. Pat, 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 just like that. Now squeeze your feet, squeeze your feet, squeeze your feet, 'cause that feels neat. Squeeze your feet, squeeze your feet, squeeze your feet, and now we'll pat, pat, pat again. Pat, 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 just like that. Pat, 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 just like that. Now, fingers in your hair, fingers in your hair, fingers in your fingers in your fingers in your hair, fingers in your hair, fingers in your hair, fingers in your fingers in your fingers in your hair, and now we'll pat, 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 just like that. Pat, 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 just like that. Thank you for singing Pat, Pat, Pat with me. Now it's time to go back to Miss Jamie. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss Nancy. Should we wake up Betsy Blackbird? 1, 2, 3. Call for her. Betsy, where are you? I see her back there. Come on out, Betsy Blackbird. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. How are you? Hello, Betsy. How are you? Hello, Miss Jamie. How are you? We're so glad to see you. Here, here. We're all here, here, here. We're all here, here, here. We're all here. We're all here together. Yay! And this is one of our favorite weeks, right, Betsy? We love listening to these fairy tale stories. The tale is called The Three. There's that number 3 again. The Three Billy Goats Gruff. This is a story about a family of goats. Goats like this, goats. Yes, that live over here on this side of the river. The family includes a little Billy Goat Gruff and a middle Billy Goat Gruff and a great big Billy Goat Gruff. Now the Billy Goats, they're on this side of the river, but they can see across the bridge to the other side of the river where there are lots of beautiful plants and flowers and green grass that they can munch on. The goats want to go across the bridge to eat the green grass, but there's a problem. Under the bridge, there lives a mean, nasty, old troll. The troll does not like the goats to go across his bridge. Let's find out what happens. Are you ready for the story of the Three Billy Goats Gruff? It starts like all of our fairy tales start. Once upon a time, there were 3 billy goats named Gruff who lived on one side of the river. They wanted to cross the bridge to the other side so they could eat the green grass. But there was a mean, nasty old troll that lived underneath. One day, the little billy goat decided to go across the bridge. His hoofs went on the bridge like this. Trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap. Do you think you could tap your knees and say that with me? Here goes. Trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap. Yes, we have to say it 3 times. Well, the troll heard the trip-trapping and he jumped up on the bridge and he shouted, "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" The little billy goat was scared, but he said, "It's just me, little Billy Goat Gruff." And the troll said, "I'm going to eat you up." The little billy goat was so scared. He said, "No, no, don't eat me. Wait for my brother. He's bigger than I am." The troll thought about it for a minute, and then he jumped back down to the bottom, and he let the little billy goat go across. Trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap. The middle billy goat saw his brother get across the bridge, so he decided to go across too. He jumped up on the bridge with his hoofs, and they said, can you say it 3 times and tap your knees too? Here goes. Trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap. The troll heard the hooves trip-trapping on the bridge, and so the troll jumped up and yelled, "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" The middle billy goat wasn't very afraid. He said, "It's me, middle Billy Goat Gruff." And the troll said, "I'm going to eat you up." The middle billy goat said, "Don't eat me. Wait for my brother. He's much bigger than I am." The troll thought about it for a minute, and then he said, "Okay, you can cross." So the troll jumped down, and the middle billy goat went trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, over here to eat the green grass with his brother. Finally, it was time for the great big Billy Goat Gruff to go across the bridge. He jumped up on the bridge with his great big hoofs, and his hoofs went, can you read this 3 times and tap your legs? Here goes. Trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap. The troll heard the billy goat on the bridge. He jumped up and yelled, "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" The great big billy goat didn't even answer. He lowered his great big billy goat horns and he bumped right into the troll. He said, "Take this." Wham! Pow! And the troll jumped down into the river and swam away. The great big Billy Goat Gruff went trip, trap, over to the other side of the river with his brothers. And the 3 goats lived happily ever after. That's how all of our fairy tales end. Happily ever after. And the troll just swam away. Maybe he found a new bridge to go live under. A bridge that doesn't have any goats. That story has 3 things, just like our other fairy tales. It has once upon a time and happily ever after. And the story also has a troublemaker. All fairy tales have a character, someone in the story who is a troublemaker. In this story, who's the troublemaker? Yes, it's the troll. You're right. Would you like me to teach you the word for the troublemaker in a story? It's a big word. You're going to have to put on your thinking cap and turn it on high power. The word for a troublemaker in a story, somebody who's always causing problems, that word is called antagonist. Can you say antagonist? Can you say the word for the troublemaker one more time? Say antagonist. The troll was the antagonist. You're so smart. Let's think. When we read The Three Little Pigs, who was the antagonist? Tell me. Yes! The antagonist was the big, bad wolf. When we learned the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, who was the troublemaker in that story? Who was the antagonist? It was Goldilocks. She's the one who caused all the trouble. She ate all the porridge. She broke the chair and she slept in the bed. Goldilocks was the antagonist in that story. And of course, today in our Billy Goat story, who is the antagonist? Yes, it's the troll. Tomorrow, we're going to read a fairy tale. We're going to learn a fairy tale that has 3 antagonists. Can you believe that? 3 troublemakers. That will be something interesting for us to do something a little different tomorrow. Well, I have a song to teach you about the 3 Billy Goats Gruff. And you're going to like this song because it's almost just like the story. Here's a little goat. And you can make the sign for goat like this. Goat, like his beard and his horns. Goat. Yes. The little goat went trip, trip, trap, trip, trip, trap, trip, trip, trap. The little goat went trip, trip, trap, right across the bridge. Good. Which goat comes next? It is the middle goat. Can you sing with me? Went trip, trip, trap, trip, trip, trap, trip, trip, trap. The middle goat went trip, trip, trap, right across the bridge. Good singing. And which goat comes third? Tell me. It's the great big goat. This time we should say trip, trip, trap really loudly. Can you do it? Because he has big hoofs. Ready? The great big goat goes trip, trip, trap, trip, trip, trap, trip, trip, trap. The great big goat goes trip, trip, trap, right across the bridge. And who jumps up last? Who could it be? All 3 goats have had a turn. Who will we sing about next? It's the mean old troll. This troll doesn't look mean. He looks a little silly. He has orange, cute, spiky hair and a green shirt and little black boots. Do you see the little troll? But we'll say the mean old troll, even though he's smiling. Ready? The mean old troll said, "Get off my bridge, get off my bridge, get off my bridge." The mean old troll said, "Get off my bridge." Then he jumped and swam away. Yes, that's a fun song to remember how the story goes. Goats and gruff both start with the same letter. Listen to it. Goat, gruff. Do you hear the first sound in those words? Goat, gruff. The letter G. Yes, the G is a tricky letter. It actually has two sounds. The G says G. The G says G. Every letter makes a sound. The G says G, G, G. Can you feel it in your throat? Make the sound. Ready? G, G, G. That's the hard G sound. It also makes a soft sound like J, J. But in preschool, it's important that we learn the hard one. G, G, G. Can you say it? G, G, G. Good job making the sound. I think we'll hide the little g for this game. And I have some pictures of things that also start with the G sound. What is this? Gate. Gate starts with a G. And this animal is a gorilla. Good reading. Gorilla starts with G. What is this? You might put it in your car to make it go. It's gas. Gas starts with G. This looks like a present. Another word for present that starts with G is G. Gift. Can you say gift? Good. Gift starts with G. And this is gum. Gum starts with G. Here's an animal that you might find at the pond. It's a goose. Goose starts with G. And here's where you might plant your flowers or your vegetables. This is a garden. Garden starts with G. And the last one, we know this. It's a goat. Goat starts with G. G, G, goat. Good reading. I'm going to hide this little G and we'll play the letter G game. But no peeking. You can glance over here at the Billy Goats Gruff. Where should I hide the G? Let's all play the letter G game. Each of these pictures starts the same. Which picture would you like to pick? Which one that starts with the letter G? G, G, G. Which one do you pick? Oh, lots of friends are having good guesses. The goose? Okay, let's look behind the goose. Nope, it wasn't behind the goose, but that was a great guess. Which one should we check next? Another animal? Do you want to check the goat? Okay, let's look behind the goat. Good guess, but it wasn't behind the goat. Should we do the other animal? Which one is the other animal? Gorilla. Let's look and see. Yes, you found the letter G. It was behind the gorilla. Can you make the G sound? G, G, gorilla. Woo! Good guessing. Would you like to play one more time? Turn over the goose. And the goat. No peeking. Hide your eyes. Let's see. Where should Miss Jamie hide the little letter G? I found a good hiding spot. Let's all play the letter G game. Each of these pictures starts the same. Which picture would you like to look at first? The goat again? Okay. No, not behind the goat. Good guessing. Where could the letter G be? Garden? The flower garden? Okay, let's look and see. Nope, it's not behind the garden. Keep guessing. Where's that letter G? Where would you like to try next? Do you want to keep going across the bottom? Okay, what is this one? It is goose. Goose starts with a G. Oh, G, are you back there? No G here. Goose starts with G. Should we try the last one on this row? What is this? Gum. Let's look and see. G, are you back there? Yes, you found the letter G. It was hiding behind the gum. Give your brain a good kiss. Mwah! Brain, good thinking. Gum starts with G. I'm so proud of you. I think I'll take these down so that you can see the book that we're going to read together. You're going to like this book because the antagonist has a really good drawing. It's really cute. It looks different than the one that's up on my flannel board. The book that I'm going to read to you today is called The Three Billy Goats Gruff. Can you read that title? The Three Billy Goats Gruff. And there they are. There's the little gruff and the middle gruff and the big gruff. And look how cute the troll is. This book is by Mara Alpern. Here's the title page. The Three Billy Goats Gruff. And you can see this one takes place on a mountain. This book starts a little differently than some of our other fairy tales. Listen to how this book starts. There you go. High in the mountains lived 3 billy goats. They were called Baby Gruff, Middle Gruff, and Big Gruff. All winter long, an icy wind blew, and the billy goats ate only dry thistles and scraggly thorny bushes. When at last the snow melted, they set off for the valley below. Down the mountain they trotted. You can read this part. Trip, trap, to the old stone bridge. There, on the other side of the river, was the freshest, greenest grass they had ever seen. Here's some speech bubbles. The goat says, "Look at that yummy grass. I'm so hungry, I could eat the whole field. Can I go first? Can I please?" And so the billy goats lined up to cross the bridge. First, Baby Gruff, then Middle Gruff, then Big Gruff. But under the bridge, hiding in the shadows, was a big, ugly troll. He had a terrible, warty face. He had horrible, pointy ears. He had awful, stinky breath, and he liked to eat anyone who crossed the bridge. His book says River Recipes for Trolls. So when Baby Gruff skipped across the bridge with a trip, trap, the troll sprang up from below, snarling and slobbering. Look what he says. "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" "It's me," Baby Gruff squealed, "the littlest billy goat. I'm going to the meadow to nibble all the flowers." "Oh, no, you're not," roared the troll. "This is my bridge, and I'm going to eat you up for breakfast with some freshly buttered toast." Look, he has a worm crawling on his coat sleeve. Baby Gruff trembled. "Please don't eat me," he squealed. "I'm so little, you wouldn't even taste me. Wait for my older brother, Middle Gruff. He's bigger and much tastier. The troll licked his lips like this. Can you do that? Bigger, tastier, he cried. Then I'll eat him instead. Now, be gone with you. And so Baby Gruff scurried over the bridge. Trip, trap, trip, trap. Silly old troll, he giggled. Soon after, Middle Gruff clattered across the old stone bridge. Trippity-trap, trippity-trap. The troll leaped up once more, growling, "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" "It's me," Middle Gruff bleated, "the next Billy Goat. I am going to the meadow to munch all the grass." "Oh, no, you're not," roared the troll. "I'm going to gobble you up for breakfast with a nice glass of milk." "Don't be silly," cried Middle Gruff. "If I'm so bony I'd make your teeth fall out. Wait for my older brother, Big Gruff. He's fatter and much yummier." The troll started to drool. "Fatter? Yummier?" he shouted. "Then I'll eat him instead. Now, be gone with you." And so Middle Gruff trotted across the bridge. Trippity-trap, trippity-trap. "Silly old troll," he snickered. Finally, Big Gruff thundered up to the bridge. Look how big the words are. Can you read them? Trip, trap, tromp. "Roar!" roared the troll. "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" He was very, very hungry by now. Big Gruff stomped his hooves. "It's me," he grunted, "the biggest Billy Goat." The troll's tummy was rumbling and grumbling. Up he jumped, bellowing, "Here I come to gobble you up." "No," said Big Gruff, pointing his big, strong horns right at the troll. "Here I come." Is he going to bump into him? And he knocked the troll right into the rushing river. Splash! "Arr!" howled the troll as the river swept him far away. And so Big Gruff thudded over the bridge to join his brothers in the meadow. Trip, trap, tromp. "Silly old troll," he chuckled. All summer long, the Three Billy Goats Gruff crunched and munched the delicious green grass until they could eat no more, and they never, ever saw that silly old troll again. Do you like this story with a troublemaker, with an antagonist, a bad guy in it? They're kind of fun, especially if we remember that they're just pretend, that there really aren't trolls who live under the bridge. It's just a silly story, not real. That's the fun thing about fairy tales. There aren't really pigs who build houses, and there isn't really a family of bears who live in a cottage in the woods. They're just make-believe, and that's why they're so much fun to read, I think. I have a fun idea for you to do after you're finished watching the video lesson today. You could build your own bridge. This is a block, but you could build yours out of blocks, or maybe you could use a table at your house and pretend like it's a bridge. And you could make your own puppets. I just printed some goat pictures on my computer and I taped them to a stick. You could tape them to a stick or a straw or maybe a plastic spoon. And you need to make 4 puppets. So you'll have to have three goats, a little one, a middle one, and a great big goat. And then you could color or draw your very own troll. And you can use your bridge to tell the story of the Billy Goats Gruff. Kind of like this. Once upon a time, there was a little Billy Goat who wanted to go across the bridge to eat the green, green grass. His feet went trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap. But up jumped a troll, and he roared, "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" And the little Billy Goat said, "It's just me, little Billy Goat Gruff." You could tell the story. Make your own character puppets. You could color them or print them, put them on a stick or a spoon or a straw, and you can use them to retell the story. When your brain is retelling the story, when you tell it to your family or to your grown-ups, you are getting smarter and smarter and smarter. That's what good readers do. They can remember the story and they can tell it again. Oh, I would love to see your puppets and your bridge if you decide to retell the story at home. Will you share a picture with me? I think you're so smart. Well, friends, I had so much fun today telling the story of the Three Billy Goats Gruff and learning more about fairy tales and antagonists. Look at those troublemakers. But it is already time for us to call Betsy back and get ready to sing goodbye. Will you call for her? 1, 2, 3. Say, "Betsy, come back." Hello, friends. Oh, I love those fairy tale stories. Do you? Betsy, it's time for us to sing goodbye to our friends today. But we'll do another fairy tale again tomorrow, okay? Preschool time is over now, over now, over now. Preschool time is over now for another day. Good. Wave goodbye to all of our friends, all of our friends, all of our friends. Wave goodbye to all of our friends. It's time to stay home and play. Hip, hip, hooray! Do you have any birdseed in your pocket for Betsy? Okay, reach down and get it. And Betsy's going to show you that we made you a play pack. And it has lots of fun ideas for things you can do at home after the video's over to keep playing and learning together. Birdseed time! Thank you for the birdseed. Would you like to catch one of Betsy's special flying kisses? Okay, hold your hand out. Here it comes. Try to get ready for it. Catch it. Stick it to your cheek. Give yourself a great big hug from Miss Jamie and Betsy. We think you're so special, so smart, and we love doing preschool with you. We'll see you again tomorrow, friends. Bye-bye. Thanks for the birdseed.